But we are at fault.
Yeah, sure. I will agree to that. But also, I mean, the alternative is I can go buy all the groceries I need for the week at Walmart for $20. And if I go across the street to Albertsons, it's $30 because everything's more expensive. And because I don't make a lot of money, I don't have the option to say I'm going to go to Albertsons instead because I can't afford their prices. So I have to go to places like Walmart because that's where I am on the economic spectrum. If I was making more money an hour, it might be different. You say, people think about getting paid in time when they should get paid for their value, right?
Right.
If it wasn't for the people who work at Walmart or the people who pack the boxes at Amazon to send out the packages, if it wasn't for those people, the people who own those companies wouldn't have the money that they have.
Right.
So they should be getting paid more for their value because without them, if everybody in Walmart decided today to go on strike, Walmart would lose countless dollars because they'd have to close their doors while they were busy training everybody. They might not even be able to do that because where are they going to get the people to train you how to do the thing? So there was a time in this country where Britain wanted to tax us, and we threw thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of tea in a harbor and said, fuck you, and decided we're going off on our own because go fuck yourself. And now...
That's what I'm saying.
It's the same.
People made that choice.
Yeah, and I feel the people need to make those choices again. But at this point, a lot of us have too much to lose.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is like that mentality of having too much to lose is the problem. Not that the minimum wage is what it is.
But
what we need to be focusing on is
1 + 1 is
the
2.
way that we think. The relationship that we have with money and the relationship that we have with the people that have too much of it.
Right.
Because the people having too much of it has no bearing on our ability to have a higher income.
That's not true because they're the ones making they set the prices. The people in charge are the ones setting the prices.
I don't know if that's entirely accurate.
It is.
How is that? Why?
Because I can't go into a job and say, I want to work here, give me $20 an hour.
Yeah, but you can go into the job that is going to pay you minimum wage. You have that choice to go do that.
Yeah.
Why
and
not?
I just want to, for the record, I just want to state that I, right now, make above minimum wage.
As do I.
And I still struggle because it's not a lot above the minimum wage. It's just there needs, and you say you can go into a place and you don't have to work there if you don't want to work there. Mm-hmm. But if I want to have a place to live, if I want to be able to drive my car, if I want to be able to feed my son,
right?
If this is the only place that's hiring
currently,
I have to take that job.
Yeah,
and because
that's
I don't have a lot of free time because I'm there as many hours a week as they'll schedule me,
right?
I can't always go out and look for another job.
Yeah, but you
because
can't
all my
always,
time is accounted
sometimes,
for.
Right?
Sometimes, sure, but
this is I'm calling myself out for my misuse of time. Okay, do you know how much TV I watch every week?
1,000 hours.
I don't think there's that many hours in a week. Yes, maybe. How many hours is there in a week?
24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. What's the math on that, producer?
Three about
525,600 minutes. That's in a year. That's how you measure a year. I'm sorry, never mind.
Is that from Rent? I know that.
It is from Rent. Holy shit,
dude! I watched that movie
Dwayne
in
picking
theaters.
up on a motherfucking pop culture reference.
Yes!
Holy shit! We need to mark
song.
this down. December 2nd, 2019, 7:48 p.m.
Dwayne picked up on
a pop culture reference. Yeah. My goodness. I don't even care what happens to the rest of this episode.
168.
168 hours in a week.
And I totally did that in my head.
Yeah, you did, producer. Good job.
Yeah, that calculator was just for good looks.
Yep.
Okay, so
Remember when they said
Where
you
were we?
need to learn how to do this because you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket your whole life?
yeah, they were.
Ah,
Who are they
Suckers.
trying to kid?
themselves.
But for real though, I don't remember what we were talking about. Why were we looking up hours in a week?
You were pointing out yourself.
How much TV?
Right.
Oh yeah,
TV
how
do you
many?
watch?
Okay, on average, I want to say like 2.5, 3 hours a day.
Okay.
And I don't know about you, but
Considerably more than that.
okay. And sometimes I watch a lot more. So let's be fair. It like a ridiculous amount of TV is being watched on a regular basis, like way more than necessary. And I justify it to myself, and I say, like, I just want to turn my brain off.
Yeah,
and
there's
this
no
TV
reason you
does
shouldn't.
it for me.
There's
Like,
no reason you shouldn't do that. Self-care is a very important thing.
right. And so, like, I don't remember. I heard this like forever ago, but the idea that the best time to find a job is when you have a job, and with how easy it is to access, like, just the internet from our phones, like the 45-minute TV show that we're watching. If we're watching it on TV where there's commercials, we could be looking at shit up on our phones during commercials.
Sure.
Or while we're watching TV that we don't really care that much about.
Right.
Like, I think probably 50% of the time I'm totally invested in what's going on. The other 50% of the time I'm scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or some shit that doesn't really matter, right? And so that's a thing that I'd like to see change for me, and I have done. So there's been some changes. Like I try to blog a little bit more often, and watching YouTube videos that have interesting information that helps me feel like I'm a better person or whatever,
Right.
Like, I try to do that a little bit more, like, instead of watching as much TV. Because what I'm looking for is to shut my brain off.
Yeah.
To whatever extent. This looking up YouTube videos that have really cool stuff in it does the same thing, but I'm also taking in information that can be helpful. But anyways, what I'm getting at is we have so much resources available to us to be able to change the way that we live our lives. Have you heard of Anthony Robbins?
You mean the big tall man with the mouth like a horse?
I've never heard him described that way,
The
but
motivational speaker?
yes, the motivational
He's in
speaker.
Shallow Hal.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a quote that says something to the effect of, if you're not successful, it's not because you lack resources, it's because you lack resourcefulness.
Sure, but that's also, I mean, it's a very easy thing to say for somebody who makes money telling people they're not doing everything they need to be. Like, that's his job, is to get on stage and tell you what you're doing wrong so that you'll buy his book, which tells you how to do it right. So, like, it's easy for him to say that. It might not be as easy for the single mother of 2 kids.
But it is just as easy.
How is it just as easy if
say it out
a
loud.
person doesn't
say it
have
out
the
loud right
time?
now. Say it out loud.
Say what out loud?
If I'm not successful, it's not because I lack resources, it's because I lack resourcefulness. Say it out loud.
If it's too many words to remember. If I'm not successful, it's not because I lack resources, it's because I lack resourcefulness.
It's just as easy for you to say it as it is for him to say it.
Yeah, it's easy to say, sure. Just like I could say that this morning I woke up and had a cup of coffee with a penguin who spoke perfect British English to me. I could say that too. It doesn't fucking make it right, make it true.
But the fact is that it is true.
In some cases, sure.
In what case is it incorrect?
It's incorrect in the cases of people who don't necessarily have the free time when they're not at work.
I think we just discussed that a lot of us that say that we don't have free time are using time inappropriately.
A lot of us don't, but not all of us. I might have free time that I'm not using correctly because most of my time is spent either at work or paying attention to a 5-year-old. So when I'm by myself, I'll fucking kick back on the couch and watch Will and Grace for 6 hours in a row if I got nothing going on. I'll put on episodes of Monday Night Raw that I've missed, and I'll fucking catch up on The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, fucking whatever, because I spend 70 hours of 100 and whatever in a week working.
Right.
And moving and fucking thinking and listening to somebody else and doing what somebody else tells me to do. So yeah, if I and besides that, if I work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and I have to be at my second job at 5, say, or 6, right? That gives me 2 hours in between, including my commute, if I want to shower before I go back, if whatever I have to do. And then I work from 6 to midnight, say it's a Friday, right? I'll work 8 to 4 and then 6 to midnight.
Right.
In some cases, I might work 10 to 6 and get to my other job a few minutes late because of so I don't have any downtime in between. By the time midnight rolls around, midnight 30, and I'm home and I'm tired, I'm not looking for fucking jobs because I can't go in for an interview at 12:30 at night. It's not like I can say, oh, I like this job, fucking hit me up, because I'm not going to hear back from them until Monday anyway, because it's a weekend. And by then, I'm at work, so I can't go in for an interview.
So if it seems as if I'm telling you that what you're doing is wrong, that's not what I was trying to say.
No, I didn't take it like that at all.
Okay. I just want to acknowledge the fact that we have a lot more time that we have deemed and excused it not being used appropriately. I didn't say that right.
Right, and maybe that's true for,
you and I.
For us, and especially for you, a single man on his own with just you to worry about.
Right.
Sure, but then what about like I was saying before, the single mother with 2 kids who has to juggle paying a babysitter and going to work and taking care of 2 children on her own, because let's face it, a lot of fathers in society fucking suck, and that's just the way it is. It sucks, but there's nothing. The only thing I can do about it is be a good dad, which I try to do, and even then, you don't always have spare time. You might have a couple of hours after the kids are in bed,
right, to
relax and fucking try to get rid of the stress of the day before you go to sleep and have to wake up at 6 a.m. and do it all again.
So you say you're having this example of the single mother with 2 kids, 2 jobs.
That was just the first thing I could.
Right.
I'm sure there are other people in worse situations.
Well, let's just take that same example. Single mother, 2 kids, minimum wage job, and set her next to a single mother, 2 kids, who is working well above minimum wage. Sure. What's the difference?
The difference is that the mother who's working well above minimum wage wouldn't necessarily have to worry about how many hours they're working or whether or not they can afford a babysitter or if they have to call their mother to watch the kid or things of that nature. Because if you have extra money, if you're making enough money to live and live fairly comfortably, then you can say, all right, well, I know I work from this hour to this hour, so maybe I can afford a live-in nanny to watch the kids during the day, take them to school, pick them up, and then I can come home and I can be a mom.
Right.
But the parent who doesn't have that option then has to rely on and thankfully I'm in a situation where I have a great support system. My ex-wife and I have a good relationship as far as the kid goes, and her parents and my mom, and we've got a good support system for that kind of stuff. But it still costs me almost $200 a month to send him to before and after daycare for school, because of
which is a pretty good deal, right?
It's a pretty good deal, but it's still almost $200 a month that I'm spending, that if I had a little extra wiggle room in my own schedule, I wouldn't have to do that. Like if I could,
because he would be with you and not
because
aftercare.
because I could pick him